and welcome back to another BobBlast. Hi, I'm Bob Burridge, and this one is day 4 of my Loosen Up with Aqua Media painting workshop. Remember, the first one was all about painting that pair, black and whites, darks and lights, right? And number 2, I think it was, it was the florals. Remember, we made a mess, we did the florals. That was my workshop. This is part of my Loosen Up series, you know. And number 3, we did the landscapes, the 4 compositions in the landscape. And this one, day 4, it's all about my Loosen Up abstract painting workshops. I can't wait to get started. And you know, one of the things I always like to talk about is abstract. What is an abstract? I hear 2 different schools of thought. So basically I broke it down to this. It's either going to be objective or non-objective. I hear artists talking about that all the time. So I just want you to know that they're both legitimate, perfect examples. The objective usually tells a story, something that the artist really wanted to say and get across. The non-objective, well, an abstraction of an intention. Like they had an intention, but they're gonna really abstract it. Okay, but they're both legitimate. I personally love to tell stories in my paintings, right? And so that's what I'm going to be doing. For example, telling a story. Well, like families sitting on a sofa. That's telling a story. A couple right here telling a story. Over here, this one is non-objective, not telling a story. But I definitely had an intention, and the intention was to do a very strong graphic painting, just black and white. So I can't wait to get started on telling the story. So this is my way of telling an abstract story, right? And right now the story is about a couple, 2 people sitting on a sofa, being together, families. Here they are sitting down, a couple. She's walking away, he's sitting down, still a couple. Always telling a story. There's always a story in my pieces. So I like to say that's the concept. And now I'm going to choose the color combination, and I'm going to choose the composition. Let's get started on my piece right now. So I've already started to lay out the colors. Here's from my color wheel, the dominant color is green. I already put a coat of green down. I laid out all the colors ready to go. These are my Holbein acrylic paints. My focal point color is that hot pink, and then I'm going to have this yellow-orange color as a spice color, and this dark blue as my other spice color. I'm ready to get started. The concept, 2 alone. Wouldn't that be nice, huh? 2 people alone, and I already have the year down. Here we go. I put an overall color over the entire canvas. Dominant color. Dominant color. And my white. Look at that. I'm going to put a couple in here right off the bat. Very loose. Very loose. Making sure I put color everywhere. Whew. This is right out of my figure class, where we paint carrots first, right? Put them inside a tunnel, kind of like a tunnel, with private space. The composition is vertical, and very vertical. And now I'm going to go for more contrast, a lot of contrast. Get the colors back to where I want them. There you go. Ooh. I like what's going. More contrast up in here. Almost brilliant. There we go. Oh. By the way, look at the size of the brush I'm using. It's pretty large. you get the painting done quicker. There we go. There we go. There, better. There we go. Oh. Give her narrower shoulders. There we go. There's your couple. In a private space. This is how I work in the studio. Quickly, I already have my concept together again. Two alone, there we go. Definitely two alone. That's the story I'm telling. Whoa. I paint all over at the same time. I don't stay in one area too long. If I do, I'll start to think about it. When you think about it, you might not do it. So, is it abstract? It certainly is not photorealism. So it's my interpretation of a story. Two alone. That's the beginning. Just a couple of minutes. In the first few minutes, you should have paint everywhere. I always believe under every great painting is a great abstract. So I may as well start out as an abstract, still telling the story. Now in the next BobBlast, I'm going to be telling the other half. That was storytelling. The other half will be non-objective. I can't wait to get started. I'll see you on the next BobBlast. Hey, it's Bob, here to tell you about a few more openings coming up real soon in my favorite place in the world to paint, which is down there in Puerto Vallarta. So it's going to be in January the 26th to the 31st, and then right behind that is another one, February 2nd to the 7th, where we paint a lot. You've heard me talk about it. So sign up online. Just go to my website for more information. It's all there. I'll see you in Mexico. Hi there, painters. Hey, have you ever wanted to meet Van Gogh and Vermeer? I do. Hey, I'm Bob Burridge, and welcome to my Holland riverboat cruise. I'm going to Holland. I cannot believe to do a workshop on a riverboat cruise. 9 days of a bliss and imagination, and accommodations are spectacular. You know, I did this one in Paris, all the way up to Normandy and coming right back down again. I didn't think I was going to like it. It was spectacular. I said, let's do this again, especially of the accommodation. The crew took care of us. The accommodations, the luxury, were just so well taken care of. The foods, as you can well imagine, the excursions, the entertainment. There's a lot going on those riverboat cruises, but look where we get to go. We get to go to Van Gogh Museums, Vermeer. We get to see all that history, incredible excursions through those castles, and we get to paint every day. And the meals, we actually hurry back to the lunches on the cruise ship. It's a small riverboat cruise, just for the meals. Let me tell you, they take care of us. One of my favorite things, I'm looking forward to it, riverboat cruises. That's where it's all happening. Small accommodations, educational especially. So you're going to see a lot of museums, a lot of castles, and do a lot of painting time with me. I hope to see you there.